If you're trying to reverse the state of your skin health and ultimately just optimize your overall health, diet needs to be a focal point. And figuring out which foods and which macronutrient ratios work best for you as an individual is going to be a very important part of this process. But as I always say, obviously diet is not everything, and it's very important that we start plugging in the right habits around our diet to address the nervous system, address our physical health, and ultimately just lay a solid foundation and structure for our days to build off of. So in this video, I actually have 10 habits for you guys to start implementing into your days and get you heading in the right direction in terms of habit development. The first habit that I have for you guys is breathing exercises. So if you've been following me for a while, you've probably heard me mention this name at some point. You may have found him on your own. He's a pretty popular guy, but go to YouTube and type in Wim Hof breathing tutorial. I think it's like a 10-minute long video, and he'll sort of walk you step by step through this extremely simple breathing technique that can have some pretty profound effects on the central nervous system. So go to YouTube, check that out, give it a try, and see how it makes you feel. The second habit here sort of goes hand in hand with the breathing techniques, and that's envisioning success in meditation. So what I like to do is I like to get myself in that state of stillness and relaxation by using the breathing techniques and just kind of empty-headed. And then once I go through that and just get really relaxed, I will spend the next 5 to 10 minutes envisioning success, envisioning the things that I want. So as this pertains to skin health, do the breath work and just in your head start visualizing all the things that you want to be doing that you feel like your skin is holding you back from. It might be you running on the beach with your family, with your shirt off, showing some skin. Start envisioning success. I think the more often that we put these positive thoughts into our head, we're going to become much more likely at actually making them happen. So, like I said, do the breath work, try that out, and add some envisioning success and just some positivity on the end of that. The third habit here is going to be exercise. So, the benefits of exercise are obviously no secret. You don't need to absolutely kill yourself in the gym, but you do need to be consistent and just make sure you're living an active lifestyle in one way or another. Obviously, this is one of those things, the work, you're going to get out what you put in terms of the work, but find what you like, get some strength training in there, and just address the muscular system. There's tons of evidence to prove, the longevity benefits of exercise. I don't need to explain this to all you guys. You know how important exercise is, so just be consistent with it. Find a schedule that you like and stick with it. The fourth habit is going to be being in nature. So, get outside your house. If you have hiking trails nearby or bike paths, or, you could go to a park nearby, play some basketball, something like that. Just get outside, get away from buildings, get as close to nature as possible, especially these days, with all the EMF exposure. You want to get closer to your roots, get amongst the trees, get amongst the birds, walk around in the grass with your bare feet. Just stuff like that is just super powerful for the nervous system. And this next habit here sort of goes hand in hand with this one. The fifth habit is sunlight exposure. So if you've been dealing with psoriasis for a while, I'm sure you've recognized at one point or another that the sun generally really helps your skin. Obviously, you don't want to burn yourself. You don't want to spend too much time out in the sun. But in terms of, getting vitamin D, obviously, sunlight is the number one option. Get out in the sun as much as possible, even in the winter months. Just get outside, have a good time, soak in some rays. So the sixth habit here is cold exposure, and this is another one that Wim Hof is really big on. I can kind of get on and off with it, and the way that most people like to do this is cold showers. So what I'll do is I'll take my normal warm shower, but for 3 to 5 minutes or so, I'll crank that all the way down to freezing cold, and I stand there and I kind of breathe myself through it. And once you get out of one of these cold showers, you feel rejuvenated. You feel really good. It kind of turns on that fight or flight response in the body. During the colder months, you could walk outside with less than optimal amount of clothes on, just to kind of fight the cold. Basically, it's kind of a mental strength kind of thing. And what you'll find is, the more often you do this, the easier it becomes. Like the first time I ever took a cold shower, it was absolutely horrible. But once I did it for a few weeks, it hardly even fazed me anymore. So give it a shot, see how you feel. I think it's a great habit to throw in there. The seventh habit here is going to be consistent patterns. So this comes down to sleeping patterns, eating patterns, and just all other patterns that you have throughout your day. So in terms of sleeping, go to bed and wake up in the morning around the same time every day. Tune that circadian rhythm, make sure you're in tune with your body's biological clock. And in terms of eating, pick out an eating window. Have a general idea of where your meals lie. If you feel best eating at noon, 3, 6, and maybe a snack at night, do that. If you feel better starting a little bit earlier in the day, eating throughout the day, maybe eating in a smaller window, do that. But whatever sleeping pattern and whatever eating pattern you choose, stick with it. And see how it works for you. You could always make adjustments, but whatever you're doing, just the patterns and the rituals of your everyday life, be very consistent with them and very structured. The 8th habit is going to be playing games and just being competitive in general. If you're someone who likes playing sports, get out and compete and play sports. If you like playing video games or board games with your family, something like that, anything that kind of gets those competitive juices flowing is going to be great for your neurological health. So obviously, the video game thing and stuff like that, you don't want to, spend your whole life doing that unless, that's your occupation. You got to make time to you be successful in whatever your goals are. But just being competitive is, like I said, very, very powerful tool just to take your mind off of whatever you're thinking about throughout the day and just really hone in and focus on something. I think this is something not a lot of people talk about, but just that competitive nature is instilled in us, and I think it's really important that we entertain that. So find ways to compete and find ways to be competitive. The 9th habit is creating art. So I grew up, painting and drawing and things like that. I don't do it as often as I feel like I should because I do think, it's rewarding and I get benefits out of it. But if you're someone who has enjoyed painting or drawing in the past, or even like coloring books, something as simple as that, do some of that. It's super relaxing, great for the nervous system. And like I said, it's rewarding. You want to adopt these habits that have rewards behind them. You spend a few hours or a few days painting a picture, drawing a picture, doing a coloring book, whatever. It feels good when you're done. You want to kind of fulfill this sense of accomplishment with your habits and what you're doing throughout your day. And for the 10th and final habit here, I have reading or consuming media. So get a book, find a subject you're interested in, read up on it. Get a novel, read for fun. Obviously, just like exercise, the benefits of reading are absolutely no secret. Everyone knows it. If you're not a huge reader, I think podcasts can be great, or getting books on audiobooks, listening to them that way. But this process of learning should never end. We should always be learning, seeking new information and trying to improve ourselves. So read a book, find a podcast you like, and do it often and just entertain that side of your brain. All right, so that's all I got for you guys. I hope this helped. I've said this before and I'll say it again. Diets don't heal psoriasis. Habits do. Obviously, diet is very important and you really need to dial that in and get that figured out. But at the end of the day, it's the habits. It's the strong, sturdy foundation that we build with our habits that's going to allow us to lower inflammation, lower stress, and keep it that way, and ultimately give ourselves some time to let our skin clear up. So as usual, go to my website for additional resources, naturalpsoriasishealing.com. You can watch my Proven Psoriasis Protocol free training video that outlines my skin health reversal system. You can apply for one-on-one coaching, and you can also check out my supplement regimen that I have posted in there. So in the meantime, if you guys have questions about anything, don't hesitate to reach out, and I'll see you in the next one.